My dying mother promised her guardian angel would protect me. I've seen it now, and I don't think it's an angel. My mother died 2 months ago. It wasn't sudden. No screaming hospital alarms. No last-minute heroics. It was a slow, soft unspooling of a life. Cancer. We had years to prepare, but no one really does. Her last week was spent in a hospice room the color of old bones, the air heavy with disinfectant and quiet defeat. I sat by her bed every day, holding her hand, pale, papery, weightless, and listening to the rasp of her breathing, like sandpaper over glass. She wasn't afraid. That was the hardest part. While I was unraveling inside, she looked almost relieved. On her final day, when her breaths had become shallow whispers, she turned to me. Her eyes, milky for weeks, suddenly cleared, sharp and alive again. "Don't be sad, my love," she said, smiling weakly. "I'm not afraid. He's always been with me." I swallowed the ache in my throat. "Who, Mom?" "My guardian," she breathed. "A gift from my mother when she died. He's protected me all my life. He never lets real harm come." I thought it was the morphine, a comforting hallucination. But then her grip tightened, shockingly strong, and she stared through me, to something I couldn't see. "When I go, he'll pass to you," she said. "He needs someone to watch. You'll be safe now, always." "Mom, you won't believe me at first, but you'll know. 10 marks, after I'm gone. When you've seen the 10th, her voice thinned to a whisper. "You'll see him." She listed them slowly, like a prayer. A coin returned. A silent bell. A path cleared. A saved fall. A warning unheard. A fear answered. A scent of the old earth. A touch of cold fur. A voice not your own. And finally, a gaze returned. Her hand went limp before she finished the last word. The funeral passed like static. Weeks blurred. Papers, condolences, and an unbearable silence where her voice should have been. I forgot about her words. I wanted to forget. Until the first mark appeared. I dropped a quarter in a rainy parking lot. It vanished under the car. Hours later, I emptied my pockets at home, and there it was on my dresser. Gleaming. Dry. Waiting. A coin returned. I told myself I'd grabbed another one. I had to have. But my mother's voice began to whisper in the cracks of my thoughts. The second mark came days later. Passing a dead church, I heard its bell toll once, deep and trembling, though the tower had been silent for decades. The air was still. No one else reacted. A silent bell. By the third, I stopped pretending it was coincidence. A hallway blocked by a maintenance cart. I turned away for 30 seconds. When I looked again, it was gone. Not moved. Gone. A path cleared. And with that, the feeling began. Someone, something, watching. Standing just behind me, always out of reach. Shadows that bent the wrong way. Air that grew thick when I entered a room. My mother's guardian. The fourth mark nearly killed me. I tripped on the stairs, falling forward, certain I'd crack my skull open, but I stopped. My body hung, weightless, for a second before settling gently onto the floor. A saved fall. I started crying then. Not from fear, from the awful, twisting hope that maybe, somehow, my mother was still looking after me. That hope didn't last long. The fifth mark was pure terror. I stood before an elevator, and every nerve in my body screamed no. I stepped back. The doors closed. Seconds later, metal shrieked, and the elevator fell. A warning unheard. That night, in the park, a dog lunged for me, snarling, teeth bared, until it saw something over my shoulder. It whimpered and fled, tail tucked between its legs. A fear answered. I wanted to believe this thing meant well. But then came the smell, thick, earthy, animal, seeping into my apartment. It clung to my clothes, to my skin, to the corners of the rooms. A scent of the old earth. And then the touch. Lying in bed, half asleep, I felt something coarse and damp brush my hand. Like fur slick with cold dew. A touch of cold fur. I didn't move for hours. The 9th mark came when I finally slept again. A voice, inches from my ear. Low. Wet. Ancient. One word. Mine. A voice not your own. I waited all night for the 10th. By morning, I couldn't eat. Couldn't breathe without feeling the weight of unseen eyes pressing on my skin. When the air grew cold and heavy, I knew it was here. I turned toward the hallway. Show yourself, I whispered. The air shimmered, and then it stepped forward. Tall, hunched, covered in matted, black fur that glistened like oil. Its arms nearly brushed the floor. When it raised its head, I saw the goat's face, long, narrow, crowned with curling horns. And those eyes, yellow, slit-pupiled, intelligent, and recognizing. A gaze returned. I should have screamed, run, fought, but I only cried, Because I finally understood. That peaceful look on my mother's face when she died. It wasn't acceptance. It was surrender. This thing had been with her all her life. Watching, guarding, owning. And now,